Hello everyone. Welcome back to World of the Nerd Couple. Before we continue with the show, we just want to thank our producer Jay Silverton, also known as MultimediaJay, for producing the show so far.
We also would like to extend an apology from him. It would appear that he has produced all these episodes of the show completely oblivious to a feature in Plotagon that was right under his nose.
Needless to say, he feels like a complete moron.
So as you might be able to notice, we both sound a little different than we did in previous episodes. My voice is a little higher, and Jay's is a little lower.
It was the cartoon bubble thing that determines the pitch of someone's voice, so no more of this nonsense where it sounds like everyone has the exact same two voices. Now there can be some variety here and there.
Nerd up, nerd up, nerd up. Woo 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 woo.
We, however, are the most subtle examples of voices that have changed. There are a few others that have changed significantly more.
For that, let's head on over to a sloppy kitchen set, where two of our extreme examples will demonstrate just what pitch range is possible with this feature.
Mixing a bit of the new and old here. I'm your man Toby. I run a sports bar, and Cindy is one fiery hot HR lady. Okay, so you know I'm a sports guy, but up to this point I haven't had a nice deep voice to match, but that's been fixed.
And some of you may not remember me because I haven't been around since the pilot way the heck back in episode 0. Some of you probably didn't even know I had a name, but I'm Ritzy the nerdy waitress at Cheslin Nerdy's restaurant way back in the original pilot, but I'm obviously very young, so I would need a teenage girl voice to match my waitressing.
Don't worry, Ritzy. The squeaky voice thing is way worse when you're a guy at the age.
Hey now, jock boy. At least I'm still young enough to get carded. And on that note, let's send it back over to our lovely nerd couple in the main studio and clean up this darn kitchen.
Well, that certainly sounded better than the usual everyone having the same two voices stuff. Don't you think?
Absolutely. Of course, to cover all the possibilities with what this voice system can do, we are going to have to send it over to another studio with two folks who have nicely volunteered to demonstrate the opposite extremes.
Well, as painful as this will sound to anybody who does not have very fond memories of their adolescence, this is what guys sound like with their pitch jacked all the way up.
Holy crap. Why don't you have a bazillion pimples, jailbait boy?
Hey, at least I don't sound like I'm pitch bent. Plus there are some tech YouTubers who sound like this even though they're much older.
Yeah, I get the whole sometimes you gotta use the pipes you were born with thing, but darn it, you sound like you're still in middle school.
Well, at least I sound really young instead of like I've been chain smoking for 30 years.
Well, we're not here to bash each other. We're here to give some examples of just what these extremes sound like with this voice system. On that note, I'll save your barely pubescent voice the trouble and say let's throw it back over to the nerd couple in the main studio to wrap all of this up.
Well, on that note, dear, I think it's about time we continued with the show and cooled it with this out-of-character stuff, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Back to the nerdiness and the drama. Come on, people. Say it if you know it. Nerd up, nerd up, nerd up. Woo 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 woo.